The first time she said it, she didn't even look up from her phone. Only insecure men want monogamy, she said casually, scrolling, smiling at something or someone I couldn't see. It wasn't part of a fight. It wasn't even heated. It was said like a fact, like the sky is blue, like water is wet, like I was naive forever believing marriage meant exclusivity. I remember standing there in the kitchen, dish towel in my hand, trying to process how we had gone from vows and forever to philosophical debates about ownership and insecurity. Insecure? I repeated slowly. She sighed dramatically, finally looking up. Yes, confident people don't need to control who their partner talks to or connects with. Monogamy is outdated. It's possessive. There it was. The rebrand. Not cheating. Not emotional betrayal. Not disrespect. Modern thinking. For months, she had been drifting. Late-night messages, smiling at her phone, gym sessions that ran 2 hours longer than necessary, new clothes, new perfume, a new tone in her voice whenever I asked simple questions, and every time I brought it up, "You're insecure. You're paranoid. You need therapy." It was brilliant, really. Turn the spotlight back on me. Make me question my instincts, make loyalty sound like weakness. But that night, something shifted. It wasn't anger. It was clarity. I stopped arguing. I stopped defending monogamy. I stopped explaining why commitment matters. Instead, I nodded slowly and said something that made her smirk. "Maybe you're right." She looked surprised. Finally. "If monogamy is insecure," I added calmly, "then insecurity must be contagious." She frowned. "What's that supposed to mean?" "Nothing," I said, just thinking out loud. From that day on, I changed. Not emotionally, strategically. I stopped checking her phone, stopped asking where she was going, stopped questioning the male coworker who seemed to text her more than I did. I became calm, relaxed, unbothered, and it confused her. Because control only works when someone resists. 2 weeks later, I created a dating profile, not out of spite, out of alignment. If monogamy was insecurity, then exclusivity wasn't required, right? I didn't hide it. I didn't sneak around. I simply existed the same way she had been existing. Open, unrestricted, modern. The difference? I was honest. I matched with someone quickly, a woman who was kind, sharp, and refreshingly direct. No games, no philosophy lectures about insecurity, just mutual respect and clear intentions. We started talking, then meeting, coffee first, then dinner, and for the first time in months, I felt valued, not criticized, not dismissed, not called insecure for wanting basic loyalty. One evening, I was getting ready to leave for dinner when she noticed. "You look dressed up," she said, suspicious. "I am." "For what?" "A date." Silence. Her eyes narrowed. "A what?" "A date," I repeated evenly. "You said monogamy is insecurity. I'm working on myself." Her face changed instantly. "That's not what I meant." "Really? Because you were pretty clear." She stood up. "You're doing this to hurt me." "No," I said calmly. "I'm doing this because I agree with you." Her voice sharpened. "You're my husband." "And you're my wife," I replied. "But apparently that doesn't require exclusivity anymore." She was furious, not because I cheated, but because I adapted. The next few days were tense. She went through my phone, questioned me aggressively. Suddenly, monogamy mattered again. "You're replacing me?" she demanded one night. I looked at her for a long moment. "Didn't you say people are replaceable if someone better aligns with them?" "I never said that." "You didn't have to." What she didn't know was that I had already consulted a lawyer weeks earlier. Quietly, calmly, not out of rage, out of preparation. Because here's the truth she never understood. People who truly believe in open relationships don't panic when the door swings both ways. She wanted freedom without consequence, attention without accountability, options without competition. And when she realized I wasn't begging anymore, that's when she got scared. One night, she confronted me again. "Are you sleeping with her?" she asked, trembling with anger. I didn't answer directly. I'm investing where I feel respected. That broke her. You're destroying our marriage. No, I said softly. You redefined it. A week later, I invited her to sit down, calmly, no yelling, no drama. I placed divorce papers on the table. Her face went pale. You're serious? Completely. Over this? Over some stupid comments? It wasn't the comments, I said quietly. It was the contempt. She started crying. Real tears. Not the manipulative kind I'd grown used to. These were panic tears. You can't just replace me. I looked at her carefully. I thought that's how modern relationships worked. The irony crushed her. She had spent months convincing me that loyalty was insecurity, but the moment she felt replaceable, she wanted tradition back, exclusivity back, security back. But here's the thing about respect. Once it's gone, it doesn't regenerate just because someone gets uncomfortable. The divorce moved quickly. I stayed composed, fair, clean. No revenge theatrics, no screaming matches, just consequences. The woman I had started seeing, she didn't push, she didn't rush, she simply showed consistency, and that consistency felt foreign after years of gaslighting disguised as progressiveness. Months later, my ex tried to reach out. I made a mistake, she said. I know, I replied calmly. Can we try again? I paused. Only insecure men want monogamy, I reminded her gently. Silence on the other end. Then a quiet, broken, I was wrong. Maybe she was. But growth that comes after loss doesn't always restore what was lost. Sometimes it just teaches a lesson. And here's the lesson she learned. It's easy to mock loyalty when you think you hold the power. It's different when you become the one being replaced. Because insecurity isn't wanting commitment. Insecurity is panicking when you realize you're no longer irreplaceable.